Hail thee well and welcome all. I'm the Jake of all trades, and today we're going to be talking about shop hopping. So what is shop hopping? I could try to explain it to you, but I feel like it would be much easier just to show you an example of what it is and let you figure it out. So I prepared this little sketch for you, and it's only going to be a few minutes long, and at the end of it, you should have a clearer idea of what I mean when I say shop hopping and why it is such a bad thing. Okay, so you're going to go to the weapons shop, you're stabling the horses, and you want to check out the magic shop. Is that right? Alright, cool. Let's start with you. You head over to the merchant's district and you walk into the broken shield. You see the familiar shopkeep standing behind the counter, but it looks like he's helping a couple customers as it is.
Alright, I'm just gonna wait around then until he's free.
Okay, so you stick around for a few minutes until it looks like they're wrapping up their business. The two people in front of you leave. The shopkeep looks over, connects eyes with you, and says, yes, what can I do for you today?
I walk up to the shopkeep and I say, I'm here for the Widowmaker, and I place a bag of 1,500 platinum pieces on the counter.
Oh, a princely weapon that one is, and a princely price to match. It all appears to be here, though. You will give me a moment, won't you? The shopkeep heads out into the back room, and he's gone for several minutes. You can hear him shuffling around back there. And after a moment or so, he then returns holding a very ornate sword in a gilded sheath. Here she is, the Widowmaker. It's all yours, he says as he hands it over to you.
Awesome!
Alright, now let's go to you. You go to the magic district and you find the Raven's Perch. You walk in and see the shopkeeper dusting some old tomes on the shelf. He sees you and then immediately walks over. Ah, what a pleasure to see you again. Please tell me what brings you to my little shop.
I'm actually just popping in to see if you have any new wares I may be interested in.
Ah, but of course, we had a few items come in just this morning. Here, he walks across the room. This is an interesting one. These are boots of quick step. They make the wearer incredibly fleet of foot. So these boots, essentially, they'll give you like 5 feet of movement extra every turn that you're wearing them, essentially.
Oh, cool! Those would be perfect for me! I asked the shopkeep how much they cost.
Whoa, you aren't here right now. You're at the weapons shop.
Oh yeah, you're right. So I leave the broken shield and I walk over to the Raven's Perch, and then I ask the shopkeep how much they cost.
They're not even in the same district. It'll take you 20 minutes to get there. Not to mention you're already standing in the weapons shop for 10 minutes or so.
And why are you even going over there? The plan was to meet up at the tavern when we were done, right? That's where I'm headed as soon as I get these horses here stabled.
So that is shop hopping. A shop hopper, as I like to call them, is a player who is perfectly content to split up from the rest of the party until something interesting happens with the rest of the party. Now, it could be a cool item that they're interested in, like in the example. It could be a cool event, like the players meet an interesting NPC, or maybe even the players are advancing the story while the shop hopper is not there. But however it manifests, shop hopping is a bad habit. Now, why is it a bad habit? Well, first off, at its heart, it's metagaming, and it's not the good kind of metagaming, alright? The shop hopper is using knowledge that their character doesn't have, and it is detracting from the game. That is my definition of bad metagaming. And the second reason it's not a good thing is that it steals the spotlight from the other PCs. The shop hopper is one who is typically going to steal the scene very often. They only appear when they have something to say, and they usually end up taking over the dialogue once they appear. That's not a good thing. That kind of steals the light from the rest of the player characters. And finally, the last reason that it's a very bad habit is that it glosses over lots of other role-playing opportunities. When the shop hopper just leaves one place and jumps to the next one, just to get along with the story or to see what's going on or to be a part of the action, they are not only robbing themselves of excellent role-playing opportunities, but they're robbing the other players around the table as well. You see, instead of just waiting for those other players to finish with their thing and then to regroup and tell him or her what they went through while they were gone, the shop hopper doesn't want to wait for that. They just want to get to the action, and so they will jump over there. They'll find a reason to say why their character is now in a place where they weren't 5 minutes ago, and that to me that's why it's not a good thing. Now that we've discussed how it's not a good thing, let's talk about how you can prevent it. Method number 1 of dealing with a shop hopper. Just talk to the player. Communicate your concerns and ask them to keep their shop hopping in check. It's the best course of action for almost any problem that you have at your table. I can tell you this from firsthand experience, all right? Communication is key, all right? Speak with your players if you think that they are if they're shop hopping, and then let them know your concerns about that and tell them why you think it's a bad thing and why you think they should stop it. All right. Method number 2 to dissuade shop hopping. If you've already spoken to this player at the table, another thing you can do is manipulate time within the game. This is a really big part of being a game master. You want to find beats where the PCs are waiting for something to happen, and that's when you jump in between them. If the party is split up, you find a beat when they are not doing something to hop to the next one, and then you find a beat to move on to the next one. All right. Now, this is how you manage your time. You find beats and you manipulate that time so that you can move between all of the characters. You don't just focus on one, all right? Balance your time between all of your players, all right? In the skit, for example, that I put up for you there, the game master, myself, I could have jumped to the other PCs, the PC who was going to the magic shop or the one who was going to the stables, while the first PC was still waiting for the customers in front of him to be finished with the shopkeep. And then I could have done that again when the shopkeep went into the back of the room to find Widowmaker and bring it out to that first player. The player is not going to want to leave the shop until they get what they came there for, all right? So this is why it's such a great method, all right? If you break up that time, you find the beats where they are still waiting for that thing that they came there for, you can move on to the next person, and that first player is going to be much less likely to try shop hopping if they haven't got what they came to the first place for yet, all right? I hope you're following along here. Now, the third method, if you still have problems with your players, this is a very easy one, okay? You just got to draw out a map and put it on the table, okay? It doesn't have to be to scale, all right? It's just a quick reminder to let your players know that they are not going to all be in the same place at the same time. You just draw a couple little boxes on a piece of paper and you label them for the different shop names, and then you make the players put their minis or a dice of theirs or something in that shop to signify that that is where they are right now. And if that happens, and they can see it clearly on the table, it's going to be much less likely that that person is going to try to just immediately jump from one shop to another, you know, because then it's, oh, well, how did you know? You're just going to walk over there? Well, you have to walk over there. That's going to take time. So anyway, yes, those are my 3 methods for how to prevent shop hopping, okay? It's a gentle way to remind your players that they can't be in 2 places at once. All right, and that's to me at least, this is very important for my game. It detracts from the realism when players are just bouncing around wherever they want to go, and there's no counting for time in between. It bothers me, so that's why I'm making this video. There you go, though. All right, so that's shop hopping, a problem that you might not have known that you had at your table. It's just one more thing to keep track of. Am I right, guys? But hey, we're dungeon masters, right? I think we can handle it. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Why don't you give me your names for shop hopping and how you combat it in the comments below. I certainly hope you all enjoyed, and I very much look forward to seeing you all again very soon.